welcome to Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. We are live on YouTube and we are live on. Um, beg your pardon, just to make sure I get this correct. Yeah, we're live on YouTube. Oh God, my camera is playing up. I'm just gonna try and make sure I get it right. Apologize for that. Fine, miss. The site starts playing up now. So I'm just trying to get the camera head right. So just bear with me. Yeah, we are live on YouTube. We are live on TikTok. Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. Baba T. Thank you very much. Happy Sunday to you all. Happy Sunday to you all. You will see a map behind me. And the question is Africans, are your neighbors family or strangers? Let me just put. Okay, so now we are live on Facebook and various platforms on Facebook as well. Yes, good afternoon. Welcome to Season AY on Facebook, on TikTok, and on YouTube. Please go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Help us grow the platform. Today is the second day in the Yoruba calendar, second day of the week, Orumi Laifa, we call it. And we are in a new month. It's called Ejedu Egun in Egungun in Yoruba language. It is very important that we start connecting our language, our culture, our calendars, connect all of that. It is part of who we are. And we need to embrace that. It's really important. That's why if you see me, I make emphasis on teaching people, teaching us, letting us be aware that our cultures, I'm going to decline all that because, sorry, not yet now. Our cultures are very, very important. So please do subscribe and share and hit notification buttons. As you all know on this platform, happy Sunday, those of you joining us on Facebook. Thank you very much. Those of you on YouTube, happy Sunday to you as well. And those of you on TikTok, happy Sunday as in the Gregorian calendar. But we are following the Yoruba calendar. That's the one of interest to us. Hi there. Hi to you all. Please follow and share the broadcast. Follow and share the broadcast to as many people as you can. That would really help us. We're trying to grow the platform. So any help you can do in that area is greatly appreciated. So I want to make sure share. Good, that's it. So I'm going to just share it on here as well because I think we need to be doing that. I'll share and share and share and wait a few minutes because I want to give as many people as possible the opportunity to be able to join us. Okay, so we do it one more time. I'm going to go one more time, start off there and do it that. And if you do know of anybody that needs to hear about it, this is for all Africans. On Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power, I believe that we need to reach as many Africans as possible to be able to get the message out there. So that's why we're doing what we can. Good afternoon, and yeah, wishing you a pleasant day. It's sunny out there, but this is an important information that we need to share. Um, so, what are we talking about today? You can see a picture behind me. There's two pictures. One on the back is the picture of Ivory Coast and Ghana. The other is the superimposed picture of the Giayam Kingdom. Giayam Kingdom. I need you to remember that. Giayam Kingdom. Now that kingdom is very, very important because there is a sign that you've seen me use. You see, when you type this sign, every time you see the love sign, that love sign, the love sign was designed by King Adinkra. King Adinkra of the Giayam, that belongs to the Giayam people. He's called King Adinkra. He designed many, many symbols. And that symbol, that love symbol, comes from the Ghanaian people. Now, those of you who are in what do you call it, who are on TikTok and on Facebook, you won't be able to see this, but I'm going to talk you through it. And you can join us on YouTube. That way you can see it. So the symbol that you're pressing on the screen, that love symbol, it comes from the Giayam Kingdom. Giayam Kingdom in Ghana. You need to remember that. And The that symbol is being used around the world. Now, there is a reason why I touched on that, and I would, yeah, please share the live, yeah, and like it as well, and follow. The reason why I'm talking about that is that we as Africans have never, I don't think we have collectively made that connection. So, and I will keep saying it on as many shows as possible. Every time you buy a Valentine's card, you need to know that that sign, that symbol, that love symbol, yeah, that love symbol, it comes from the Giayam, from King Adinkra, the King Adinkra of Giayam Kingdom. That sign comes from him, and it is used all around the whole world today. It is used around the whole world. Welcome those of you who are joining us on Facebook. Thank you very much. Please follow, share it to as many people on Facebook. The more you share it, the more you will help more people. Cosmos Chico Biagada. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate you on Facebook. Thank you so much. And please do share. Bring more people on. Send more notifications to people, and that's what I'm trying to do. Hopefully, to grow the platform on Facebook. Facebook, for some reason, we have over 100,000 followers, but we only ever get 5 or 6 people coming live when I go live on Facebook. So, but anyway, TikTok, my regular family, I want to thank you all. Love to you all. Love. And also on YouTube. Thank you so very much. Please don't forget, subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube, hit the notification button, give us thumbs up. Now, the reason why you need to know why I'm saying all of this is that I need you to know that the Ghanaian kingdom is a kingdom that pre-existed before the creation of Ivory Coast and Ghana. It's very important. Now, the people of Guyam, because of the partition by the colonials, they are in 2 countries. They are in 2 countries. One of the countries, Ivory Coast, they've been forced to speak French language. The Ghanaian side of it, that was the Gold Coast, is been forced to speak English. So, when you are talking about countries, oh, I'm from Ivory Coast, I'm from Ghana, it doesn't factor the fact that the Guyam kingdom that you see on the map that is superimposed, has been cut into 2 by the colonials. That is why I am asking the question, Africans, are your neighbors family or friends? Are your neighbors family or friends? So when they are telling you that you are Ghanaian, you are Ivory Coast, you are Cameroon, a crab, not a crab, a crayfish or a shrimp, you are a shrimp. All of these names, you can begin to see that that name does not have any connection with we, the people of that land. The people of the land already have our own name. We have our own name. This idea of discovering places where people have already existed for thousands of years is a joke. Fine, if you want to say yes, we met these people who have been there before. Say that, but that doesn't mean you discovered it. You might have come from a country and you're the first one in your country to have been able to have contact, but that doesn't mean you discover it. That's the same thing. We have our own languages. We have our own names. Cutting across the Guyam Empire, the Guyam Kingdom, and it is a kingdom, is exactly why we need to know who we are. Now, the Bible or the Quran will not be interested in what you're saying about that. They just want you to just think from this point on. They don't want you to know about your past. They want you to just believe that you are Ghana, you are Ivory Coast, you are Nigeria, and they don't want to know about your past. But your past is every time you're living, your ancestors are with you. You cannot forget that. So the people of Guyam, one section of the Guyam people are in Ivory Coast. If you're watching, you will see it. I superimposed it so you can see it. The other section are in Ghana. But yet, if the kids weren't taught from earlier on about the Guyam language, they would be thinking, oh no, I have to speak English, I have to speak French. No, there is a Guyam language. And that is the point that is being made here, that we need to connect to who we are. The the partition done by the colonials is intended to keep you divided from knowing your truths. The Bible and the Quran is intended to make you keep doing the same thing so you never get the time to go and research and understand who you are. You can't make sense of anything. Now, I'm giving you Gayam as a good example because in the Gayam kingdom, there should be a reference, there should be a museum put in place for King Adinkra, for the symbols. He designed many symbols and is used around the world. The sarcophagus symbol is designed by King Adinkra, even though we know he was murdered in bad, in terrible circumstances. But the fact of the matter is that is our history as Africans. This is why I keep telling us we need to connect and know our history. Please share this broadcast, and if this resonates with you, of course, do comment. Um, I always endeavor to do a lot of research myself personally. And the one thing I will say to you as an African, you have to be curious about your own land. Because we don't know our own land, because we've been put into sections, we've been put into these boxes, we've been prevented. I mean, I'm looking at the line. There's literally a line going right across the Giayam kingdom. I'll show you that line. Those of you who are on YouTube. If you're watching, you can do a simultaneous watch. You can be watching me on the iPhone or your tablet or whatever, and at the same time on the computer, join us on YouTube. Thank you very much. Yeah, it is. So there's a line. You can see there's a line where Ivory Coast meets Ghana due to the partition by the colonials. There is a line that cuts right across the Giayam kingdom. And this is the same in every part of Africa. This is the same in every part of Africa. And oftentimes, that is why I ask the question, Africans, are your neighbors family or friends? So, those who partitioned those areas now tell you, oh no, you must never talk again. You cannot, in some places in Ivory Coast and Ghana, your living room is in Ghana, and your bedroom is in Ivory Coast, and then the people there, no, you cannot meet up. No. But there is an established connection there among the people. They are actually family members. Are we doing research? Do we know about ourselves? We first, as Africans, I keep saying it. This is a perfect analogy of Africans exploring who we are on our continent, establishing that connection, re-establishing the connection. In Zululand, for example, there are places where they think that because there's the South Africa and another place, I can't remember what it's called, and you think, oh, we're different countries, but they're speaking the same Zulu language. When they find out, they realize that they're actually related. So it is important for us to start as Africans re-establishing that. We don't have to wait for any government. I'm just trying to make you start thinking. You don't have to wait. Oh, the government has said. No. We are Africans. And I need you to know that on the continent of Europe, there is something called, I think it's called Rasmussen. In fact, I was going to do that research now, but I forgot to tap it up. Let me just check. They have something called Rasmussen, if I can see it, on the continent of Europe. Let me see if he make Rasmussen. Let me see what it called. I'm going to try and find that. Rasmussen program. Let me see if it's called. I think it is Rasmussen program. Basically, what the program is about is encouraging students from different parts of Europe to be able to go to different parts of Europe and learn their culture, learn their language, be able to interact, their language, not a foreign language. So somebody from Belgium will go to somewhere like Spain and they go and learn Spanish. So, so in Africa now, what is happening, unfortunately, when you go, they will say you are going to learn a different language. So they will say maybe someone from Nigeria can go to Ivory Coast. And when you go to Ivory Coast, instead of learning the language of your Africans, you learn French. Can you see what I'm saying? Can you see? So there is a pretense here. So what is happening in Africa is not real. It's an imposition. We have to understand that. These are the things that I've done. Yes, Mini Queen, thank you very much. Happy Sunday to you. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Mimi Queen, thank you. I appreciate you. And yeah, pleasant Sunday to you as well. Um, and on in Yoruba language, they say Orunmila Ekuojo Orunmila Ifa. That requires to that speaks to the deity where today we give that this day to the deity of Orunmila and the deity of Ifa, and we would worship. We are going to be worshiping, and they are worshiping those deities on those days. So it is really important that we begin to learn that as Africans to know who we are. That is part of who we are, and we need to embrace it. We must. It's it is part and parcel of us. So this is what this program is about. It's encouraging us to start becoming curious about our own real culture, not about the language of French. Oh, I want to. Many people will say when they are in Nigeria, oh, I want to speak another language. What they're really saying is, I want to go and learn. They will say, okay, if you're going to learn a language, you can learn Spanish, you can learn French, you can learn. No, that is not your African language. I'm not saying don't learn it. Don't misunderstand me. But you need to know your surroundings. Every time you learn a language that is not of Africa, you are not connecting back to your people on your ground. We are all family. That's what I'm saying. But I've just shown you the Giam, the Giam kingdom is a perfect example of why we need to explore and understand who we are. We are neighbors. Again, in Cameroon, in the shrimp, how can you call a nation the shrimp and the people don't have a say in it? You're calling a nation the shrimp nation, and it's nothing to do with shrimp. This is an imposition on the people, and that has some kind of psychological impact on how we interact. So the people of Cameroon, which is the shrimp, and Nigeria, there is one part who are Igbos who are in Nigeria, and the other part are in Cameroon, and their families. The Bakassi, these are all of these things have a huge impact on us. These are family members that have been caught, and because somebody, a colonial, told you, oh, you are no longer, you are now Cameroon, a shrimp. You are now Nigeria, Niger area. What is that? Now you cannot speak. No, you have to speak. Cameroon. You are French. You have to. They superimpose the French language on you. They in the so-called Nigeria, they superimpose Nigeria the English language on you. Your own cultural identity is lost in that process. That is why I'm saying to you that when you accept this colonial construct and say you are Nigerian, you are losing your cultural identity because it doesn't allow you to speak in your own mother tongue. Keep in mind, on the continent of Europe, the most important thing that they encourage on the continent of Europe, people leave the UK and deliberately go and speak German in Germany because they want to learn their culture, their food, and all of that. They literally and they are sponsored. That this Rasmussen program is about that. But what they sponsor, and this is what you need to understand about the role of colonialism, and it when you think, oh, I'm going to go to Ivory Coast, shrimp. Sorry, Cameroon shrimp, Ivory Coast. What is that? That's not our name. I've just told you, Giam Kingdom. You know, when you go from Nigeria, and you go to Ivory Coast. You are now. I'm in the UK. You are now. You think you're in a French-speaking country. You're not. The Ghanaian people have their own. They have their own language. Let me just type up. Let me find out the Ghanaian language for you, so that this is really important for us to understand as Africans, because it is about our identity. The nations that are on the African continent now is not our identity. I'm not saying that to hate. It's not about hate. It's about understanding who we are. So let me just see, what is the Ghanaian language. I want to see what language was spoken by the Ghanaian people. Let me just type that up and I'll read that to you. In fact, I'm going to do it on the screen here. Let me just, those of you who are watching me on YouTube, again, you will be the ones who will be able to see this. So I suggest you can be listening partly on TikTok, and then just follow us on YouTube. That way you get a much better experience. Either on Facebook or on TikTok, you subscribe to us on YouTube and you help us grow the platform. Thank you very much, Cosmos. Let me just put that up and say thank you there. And let me continue to do this. So, watch language. What language is spoken in the Giayam Kingdom? Yeah? Let's see what language it will come up with. If it's in the correct way, we will see what I mean. And we need to explain that. So when somebody says I'm a Nigerian, it doesn't really Chamorro. No, no, that's not it. That's not it. Giayam language, I said. Giayam language. So no, I don't want that. No, they're trying to throw me off. That's not it. That is not it. Okay, let me go Adinkra. Let me go Adinkra. 1 minute. King Adinkra. Let me just, that will come up. I'll be able to see what language they speak there. So Adinkra, so I'm just gonna try and find you I just want to find this. Ashanti. Okay, so they are the Fante. The Adinkra literally translates as farewell or goodbye. And Latin symbols, linguistic groupings of the Fante, Akan, Ashanti, and Akwapem from Ghana. However, they are widely used across Europe and diaspora. Now, what they're not telling us in that is that it is actually spoken by in both in the Gayam kingdom. You know, this is about you. This is about the Gayam people and their language. So when you say that you are Ghanaian, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. When you say you are Nigerian, it doesn't mean anything. But if you say I am from Belgium, there is an actual land place called Belgium where you have the language. When you say you are French, there is an actual, and there is historical marking, landmarks. When you say you are from Switzerland, you know, there are strong links. But when you say you are Nigerian, you now have to now go, you know, that's all of that is giving you a false identity of who you are as an African. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not about hate, please. I'm just trying to get us to understand. And that is why we have to do this work of connecting back. And that is why you see me put that picture up, the superimposition of the picture. Again, to get a better experience, I suggest that you also subscribe to me on to Citizen AY on YouTube. That way you will get the first-hand pictures of what I'm doing exactly. I'm explaining to you as best as I can and painting a picture for you on TikTok and on YouTube, and so you can at least grasp what I'm saying. But to get a full experience, you need the two sides. That way you can see exactly what is going on. And but nonetheless, I'm grateful for those of you following. Keep sharing, and it's very, very important. So the Ghanaian people now, one part of the Ghanaian people in the Ivory Coast may never ever meet another part of the Ghanaian people in Ghana for 50, 60, their entire lives. But they are the same people. And their experiences will be radically different, all because a line has been cut across their natural cultural lines. One of the things that I'm suggesting here is that we must start to reconnect as Africans across these colonial borders to reestablish our cultural links. It is nobody can stop us from re-establishing our cultural links, because we will need those links and we need to encourage it. Let's find out. For example, this is happening into us in Yoruba land as well. There's a place called Ketu in a place that is now called Republic of Benin, which in actual fact is Dahomey. You see the confusion. You see when you don't know your history and don't do research, the kind of message we're passing forward to the coming generation is dangerous. It is very dangerous for the African continent to not know our history. It literally is. It literally is. So the work that we're doing here is to begin to awaken us. I, for one, would like to see, I want to see a museum in in the middle, right in the middle, in the border between Ghana and Ivory Coast, a museum for the King Adinkra, or wherever he was based. There must be, and the homage, the sign, that love sign that you are typing up. They must say, it must say, this King Adinkra designed it, and all the other symbols. We can create a museum that can create jobs for people in that community. So they benefit from the work done by the King Adinkra, may soul, our ancestor. Do you see what I'm saying? We are talking about practical steps. It's not about giving. Now you're not giving money to the people. You are now making them benefit from something that millions around the world have benefited from, and not giving back to that community that has given them so many through King Adinkra. This is what we need to do. These are the steps we need to take on ground. And that is what thank you, Oreps. Thank you. So these are what that really motivates me to do programs like this. If we don't know our history, we don't know what are we going to pass to the coming generation. Is it the Bible, the Quran? Oh, as I'm going here, read the Bible, read the Quran. That is not your history. That is somebody else's history. Do you see what I'm saying? So when you hold that Bible tightly to your chest, you are holding somebody else's history and you're passing it along, and you are erasing your own history on your continent. There's nothing wrong with Europeans taking the Bible as part of their history and passing it to the next generation, because they wrote those things, they included themselves in it. In the Bible, there are pagan things that have been used and turned into, for example, the 25th of December is about the longest day in the year. It's nothing to do with Jesus Christ, but they put it in there and people believe in that. If they believe in that, that's fine. It's part of their culture. But in Africa, we need to, what is ours? Do we know it? Unless we are doing research like this to bring this up, we won't know who we are. And it is important for the coming generation to know themselves, so that they step forward. Yes, yes, they brainwash. Yeah, they brainwash us. That's way weak. Exactly. So these are, So this is what I am trying to get us to do. I'm trying to get us to really think. Oh, I need to send this to Ike. I don't know if Ike is around. Because you know how it. Oops, sorry. 1 minute. Yeah, sorry, that was me. I was just trying to send it to Ike as well. I'll get him out. I'll get him up. And others, please share this far and wide. I'll send it to not only Ike and others. Let me send Ike for now and others. Where is Ike? Anyway, I'll send it to everybody that I can find. And we need as many people to be joining and learning about our history. Oh, I can't find Ike just now. Okay, there he is. I've got him. Yeah. So I'll send it to others as well. Now, and maybe later on, we will be able to I'll do more discussions around, and we will have people, when I finish the presentation, then I would like you to then join and make your own comments and ideas and suggestions. It is really important that we're going to be, I believe we need to be having this kind of discussions regularly among ourselves. We don't know we know about France, because France makes sure that anything that 11 African countries are going to goes through France. So you speak the French language, you buy the French goods, you know about the French military and all of that. That's because it's imposed on you. But do you know your neighbors around you? Have you explored to find out actually we are family as Africans? You see, when you start doing that, you will realize that the Bible and the Quran is an obstacle to your development on the African continent. I'm not saying it out of hate. I'm saying practicality. I will keep going back to the Rasmussen program that they have in Europe. They encourage that people who are from Spain comes all the way to England and learn English, their culture, the Scottish language, and that builds trade. That is about trade. Now, when you don't allow Africans to use their mother tongue to freely mix, you are halting our trade. You are actually preventing us from actually developing our economies. This has real impact on our development. But many of us, and so the Bible is not going to tell me how the Bible will let you understand that you have a neighbor, you have somebody in Gayam kingdom. This is, because they printed it. Yes, exactly. So these are things that we need to really, okay, DJ Solo D, give me a few minutes and I'll add you Solo D. Just hang on. I want to just quickly put the paint it up and we can then start talking. So just bear with me. So bear with me. So what I'm really trying to say is that it is important that as Africans, we look at Africa from fresh pair of eyes, stripped of this religious inertia that's been placed in our minds. Because now, when you're going to do anything on this French-speaking part of Africa that's been colonized, your mind is occupied by French currency, CFA, French military, French goods that they bring back, and your resources that they take away on the cheap, and the fact that you have to pay interest back to France. So you are not allowed to actually think outside of that. You're not a sovereign nation. You're not speaking your own mother tongue. You are speaking in a foreign language on your soil. These are really important concepts that we need to begin to spread in our communities. Our language is so important as Africans. As many as they are, they have to flourish. Because in Belgium, they've got Flemish. They fiercely ensure that the language. There's Luxembourg. There's all these small nations. These are what we. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. So we have to. When I'm saying this, you can now begin to see that when you're talking about the religion of Islam and Christianity, it is simply occupying the space that we need to interact. Our continent will only grow when we start allowing ourselves to freely engage and speak in our local languages without the imposition of the French and the English. Because what it does when you're speaking English and French, and they're telling you, the French will say, you have to trade with me only. You have to trade, you must only trade. I've got first refusal. And then you're a member of the Commonwealth. So anything that you're going to do, any resources, they get first hand at it. You're not able to interact as Africans. You are separated in your own continent. But you think that your Bible and Quran is helping you. It is not helping you. I hope you can see the argument that's being made here. It is not about hate. It's actually having a direct impact on your development as people on your own continent. And in many respects, many of the things that's benefited from around the world. I've just mentioned this the Akuma symbol. It benefits the entire world, but the people of Gayam Kingdom do not get a single benefit. There is not a single museum that pays homage to Adinkra, King Adinkra, that says that sign that is used around the world was designed by the king, and people will come to the museum. They will create jobs, and they can say it in the language. All of this is an opportunity. Our language is our wealth. Literally, our language. Look, it creates trade. It builds. So when you are having the mindset that you are speaking, I'm going to speak Arabic, I love speaking Arabic, you are simply denying the growth within your own communities. Likewise, English. There's nothing wrong in speaking those languages. But on the African continent, it is preventing freedom of movement of people and trade. It puts the lines across our natural African trade routes, because of our communities have been cut right across. This is we cannot develop as nations, as people, if we are under such huge constraints. We can't develop. That's what I'm hoping that we are trying to provoke a real deep-seated debate. This is not about I'm right and you're wrong. I'm trying to present you with a logical thinking. that is free from this the webs that is put in your mind by the religions of Islam and Christianity, because they are webs. Because you have to think within the confines of those books. Once you close that book, ah, shit. 1 minute. I hope this thing comes back. I was afraid that this was gonna happen. Um, ow. So I'm gonna try and the phone has just died on me. Let me see if I can find it. Uh, so let me see what's gonna happen. Oh, that is such a shame. I hope it cools down, and it's because I've got to be back on them. I hope they'll let me go on here. So those I'll come back. But the phone may die on me again, and I was worried about that when I started this broadcast. It seems to do well in the evening, but not in the daytime. So I'm gonna try. I hope they will let me join somehow. Uh, I'm gonna come back. Just give me a minute. Um, so I'm trying to fix this. I'm hoping it works. Um, so those of you who are on YouTube, please just bear with me. I've lost the phone just overheated now, I think. As I really got to a critical moment, I was going to allow people to come on and we can talk. But that's not a problem. If it doesn't work, what we'll do is we'll do it as a part 2. But I hope you've been able to grasp what I'm talking about now. So the Africa will not grow for as long as we allow these religions to occupy the minds of our people. Our languages is how we grow. Oh man, it is cutting out. I'm hoping that the computer will let me, that's why I need to get to 10,000 subscribers now. I understand now. They've changed the rules. So let me see. I'm hoping that I can get through. I'm trying to see if I can get through. I don't know if it will let me. I'm trying to, the phone is just overheating badly. So I'll see if I can do it another way. I might have to go and get the cable from inside. So just bear with me. Finish. I hope this will allow me to do it. I'm gonna try and do something. I hope it will work, but I don't know. Allow. Okay. Okay. So let me just see if I can go live. I hope I can. I hope I can, but I don't know. Okay, let me see. Yeah, okay. I don't know if it will let me. So I'm gonna try and go live on here. Beg your pardon. I don't know if it will let me. Something is happening. Oh, live. Okay, I cannot go live on TikTok. It is a shame. Updates will come. So I'm gonna try. So anyway, those of you on YouTube, this is why I keep saying it. Follow me on YouTube so we can carry on with the discussions. So anyway, I will try and come back with those of you. I'll wait for the phone to cool down because I don't think I can do anything when the phone is hot. It's not going to let me do anything until I solve that problem. It's got to cool down first. So just bear with me, please. Those of you on TikTok, I'm really sorry. But I want you to please help us grow the platform. I will send the link into TikTok and see if that's possible to join me on YouTube. The TikTok has gone down, the battery's gone down, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to connect it again. Let's try something. So those of you on YouTube, thank you so much for joining. We do need your support. You see, we need to grow this platform to make sure that we continue to reach more people. Where is it? So let me just put this up there so that at least we have that information there. Thank you. Those of you who are following, I encourage you to please subscribe to us on YouTube and help us grow the platform. I don't know what's going on here. Fine. Okay, I'm gonna try. So like I said, in the UK and Europe, they have the Rasmussen program, and they work fantastically well. They work with that, and they encourage that, and that's what we need to do. We need to do that. We need to be developing and growing that on the African continent. radically, drastically, very, very quickly. Um, I don't know what's happening. I hope this doesn't die on me. The battery just went. So I'm hoping I can connect. Let me see if I can connect back. Yeah, it's gonna go again. Yeah, it is too hot. The phone is too hot, and I'm gonna have to let it cool down. But like I said, okay, we will carry on, and I will see if I can if I can rebroadcast it on TikTok somehow. Don't know if that's possible because I'm not allowed to go live on there just yet. They've changed the rules, and I think you have to have a certain number of people or something. I'm not sure, but we will come back on there. Um, so anyway, I hope you've been able to glean some information. Those of you on TikTok, on YouTube, let's go here. Let me make sure, and that's why I always say follow that and help us grow the platform. We do need your support in growing the platform. It is very, very important that as many of us as possible, you know, are able to um, share the information because these are really important information that we will need. If Africa continues to depend on any religion, then Africa is not going to grow. It is just that simple. The idea that you're going to grow your nation through dependency on somebody else's culture or language is a fallacy. It simply won't wash. It will not wash. It can't work. It will never work. And that is the reality of why we are talking about the need for us as Africans to embrace our African language, our culture, you know, our how we grow things. There is, they talk about that Africa is poor. Africa has poverty. Well, Africa has poverty because of those lines. Those lines cut across cultural lines. It prevents people to interact, and people are forced to interact within the confines of what the colonials have placed on them. And oftentimes, the resources of the country is being bought at dead cheap prices because the people haven't got control of their own resources. These are realities of what is being done on the African continent as we speak. And we need our people to be aware of this. Please follow us on YouTube and follow us on TikTok. Subscribe to us on YouTube, hit the notification button, and of course, follow us on Facebook as well. Go to YouTube right now and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Help us grow the platform. TikTok now, it looks like the battery because it's hot. The battery has just conked out on me. There is not much I can do. I'll have to wait for it to cool down, and then I can then reconnect, hopefully, in a much more stable manner. But yeah, it is quite frustrating that it's that way, and I've lost that connection, but I will be back. No doubt, I'm probably going to do that later on in terms of that. But like I said, you can see now. Um, how many of you remember the Live Aid, Feed the World, um, and you will see pictures of African children starving um, in the Feed the World, and they do programs about that. There was absolutely no need for any African to suffer because 60% of the world's fertile land is in Africa. That's the reality. But they're not telling you this fact because the lines drawn by the colonials, they are impacting the interaction of Africans to feed and free Africans from starvation. That's the reality of it. But a lot of people, when you say that, they take they take this as something as though you're being whatever. I can't even. I don't. I run out of words to explain how people view this. When you say anything that runs counter to their so-called thinking, and that is why we're doing programs like this. The phone needs to cool down, so let me take it off. So I let it cool down completely, and I will take the other thing, and I will probably come back and do a part two. I will do a part two, which is going to be a phone in. It might be later on this evening because I think the battery is just gone too hot, and I cannot do it on a live broadcast as of yet. But again, I will urge everybody, please join us on YouTube, subscribe to Season on YouTube, hit the notification button, give us thumbs up, help us reach more people. I'll try and see if I can get this thing so that on an alternative phone as well, so that can come as a backup. Of course, it depends on how things, how things shape up. Um, hang on, 1 second, please. Yeah, okay. So I'm trying to get a second backup of a phone that I may use specifically for that, and I think I'm gonna try and do that, and I'm hoping that maybe, just maybe, we may be able to get something that I can just quickly go back into quickly and get it running that way. But like I said, there is a lot of that we need to really embrace as Africans. The phone just keeps going, but I'm not gonna give up this time because I know this is very important information that everybody needs, and we will continue to try, of course. Let me see if there's another way I can do this right quick to see if I can get the other phone to do the work. I mean, to be honest with you, I think it would really be best if I actually just have if I take away the things that are on here, but we will see what happens. We will see what happens. Um, we'll see what happens. I'm trying to do that, but it's not easy. It's not easy. Um, let's have a look at this. So, like I said, you can now see that for us as Africans, there is a lot of work for us to do in awakening our people. We've been put to sleep on many fronts, and we need to wake up. Our language is so key. When in Europe, the language is protected, nurtured, and encouraged, and is allowed to flourish. You can go and learn Latin. You can go and learn, because they protect, they recognize that the language is the key to success as well. Having their languages flourishing on their land, we need that to happen. On the African continent right now, the language that is flourishing are the French and the English languages. And our people, they are people ridicule you when you speak your language. I mean, in Nigeria, when I was growing up, I was told you are speaking vernacular, when I spoke in Yoruba language. And so you have to pay things. And even now, they're still doing that. Our role is to make sure that that doesn't happen. People can learn foreign languages when they're in their 18, 17, 18, but their core language must be African language on the African continent. These are real important things that must happen. I'm waiting for this thing to cool down, but I will see if it will. Oops, oh gosh. I'm just trying to see if it would actually do it. I doubt it because the phone line, the because the phone is overheating. But like I said, I do encourage you to subscribe. Those of you on TikTok, subscribe to us on YouTube. Help us to grow that platform. Because that way, if we have a problem on TikTok, say the phone overheats, we can just carry on YouTube and on Facebook, and I think we're on X Space as well, on Instagram as well. But all of that again, it's about equipment and things, having an issue. That's why on TikTok, I think if I'm able to get to 10,000 subscribers on TikTok relatively quickly, then I can actually just stream this right away on the app on the computer. But right now, with the computer doesn't allow you to. It says access live studio access will soon be available. Stay tuned for updates. So it doesn't allow me to be able to go and use the TikTok um, um, software on my computer. If that was possible, then you could see straight away that we would have um, a much better experience in that way. But with time, we're hoping that that will be the case. So I'm gonna try and do something. I don't know if you will let me. It is a shame that those of you on on TikTok, I do apologize for the break in the transmission. Of course, we are carrying on YouTube, and you can always join us via that. Um, I'll see if I can make a comment because I might be on the other side. I'll try and make a comment. In fact, and as I'm doing it now, I'm going to try and do that. I'll try and go onto the platform on. I'm going to try and go into the TikTok and let them know that I'm on YouTube. The battery has overheated. I'm waiting to be able to get the go ahead to use the app. So let me just quickly do that now. TikTok. I'll make a message, pass a message on there if I'm able to leave a message. I don't know if it's possible. TikTok. So let's go here. I was going to add a few more people, but like I said, it has made it rather difficult. So I'm going to leave a comment there, and hopefully people will see it. Let's have a look. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. But now, what I'm trying to do is to really allow us the opportunity to actually be able to participate in this process. But I don't think, yeah, it's down now, and I cannot. I don't see how else I can get there other than what I've just done now. Um, Let me try one more thing. I don't know if it will work because I don't want to talk too much further ahead now unless I actually get the um, get get people back to join us. Let's have a look. Um, so, like I said, our journey is really to make sure that we get get as many people as possible to understand that the freedom that we want is within our grasp, and we have the power to do so. And that freedom can be attained by speaking in our local languages. That is the biggest way we can get that freedom. Because when we are all talking in our local languages among ourselves and interacting, and then we are restoring pride and we're connecting to our ancestors on the African continent. Um, that's all we're doing, and we have every right to do so. Let me see. I'm trying to get this. It won't let me do that live. Okay, you know what? Guys, I'm gonna have to go and come back. I thank you all so much for joining me. Only because I want to make sure that the next part of what I'm going to do in terms of discussions, I'm probably going to come back and talk about the live aid thing in a bit more detail. But for now, I want to thank everybody who's joined me and who's followed this broadcast. Thank you so very much. Um, I will try and find a way to make sure that in the broadcast that we put in comments. I will allow people to put comments and say, okay, please join Citizen AY on YouTube, and I'll put that an extra comment as well when I go live, and I'll say it as a backup. Please, if you can, I did say it. I did say in the broadcast that you could actually use you can actually use TikTok on your phone, and then have the YouTube on the iPad. So when I talk about specifics like you see on the screen on the YouTube, you'll be able to read it and be able to follow what we're doing. Um, I'm sure it will probably be updated um, by those who are running TikTok to make it easy and all of that. But you know what? It is what it is at this point in time. So please do bear with us. And let me. I'm really. And once again, I apologize for the break in transmission. I'm waiting for the time when I will be allowed to be able to broadcast directly from a computer. That's where I'm asking you all to help us grow the platform. Subscribe to us on YouTube and, of course, on TikTok as well, so we can get to over 10,000 subscribers. And, of course, that will begin to open more opportunities to be able to reach to discuss uninterrupted. Let's have a look at this. No, no, okay. See, Parker, how a pastor ripped me off. Mm-hmm. How a pastor ripped me off. Well, sad reality. Parker. Okay. So what we will need to do is, of course, I'm going to have a bit of a pause here, and I'll come back later on. Thank you so very much for watching. You've been listening to Season AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. So you can see the question. Let me pose that question a little bit more so you can probably see it. Africans, are your neighbors family or strangers? So from what you can see, from what I've said about the Gaiman Empire, you see that they're more likely to be friends rather than, you know, just strangers. These are things that we really have to understand. Anyway, thank you so much. I'm gonna go and get a bit of a break and come back, and hopefully this evening. Oh, let me try again. It looks like it's better. Don't know if it will let me. Let me try again.
Hello, it's Cor. Hi, is that the demolition place? It is, yeah. Could you help me to destroy?
Okay, hold on. So we're back now. I hope I'm back. I hope. I hope I'm back. The phone just would not let me do anything, literally. Okay. Hello again. Hello, 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 hello. I do apologize. The phone, it overheated. The phone overheated and there was not much I could do to it. So the phone overheated and there was not much I could do to really to bring it back. So I have been trying to do that as we spoke. I was about to go off. I do apologize. Again, I urge you all. This phone, and currently I'm not able to go live on the computer. And they keep saying they gave me the update, and I'll show you what the update is. I can't go on live on the computer via TikTok. TikTok says when I try to go live on TikTok, it says, listen to this. They say I'll take a screenshot as well. In fact, I'm going to actually take a screenshot of it. I say, in fact, I will show it to those of you who are on. Got it. I'll do it this way, and I'll try and show you what I mean. So if you try and go live, oh sorry, won't let me do it. There we go. Okay. Now I'm gonna try and go live, and you'll see what happens. So it says on here, live studio will soon be available. Stay tuned for updates. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for waiting and being patient. And I appreciate everybody that came back. I'm really grateful. Thank you. Thank you for coming back. I really appreciate you. The system obviously it's a little bit it overheated. The phone overheated and I cannot do it currently. I'm unable to do this on my laptop because it says live studio will soon be available. Stay tuned for updates. So I would have gone via the computer. In fact, I do prefer that as my option, to be honest. But hang on a minute, got it. But as I said, I'm not able to do that. So, like I was saying before, as Africans, what we need to do, what we should be doing, and what we are encouraging others to do is to make sure that we begin to promote. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I needed to wait, man. Yeah, it's gone hot again. It has gone hot again. The phone just went hot, literally. I don't know. It's like they just put something. It's just gone really hot. Hmm. Hmm. That's a shame. Okay, guys, you know what? I will be back later on. Let me go and freshen up, have one or two things done, then I'll come back later on. It'll be better in the evening. So we'll do part two. We will do part two in the evening. We will do part two in the evening. In the meantime, please help us grow the platform. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit the notification button and of course give us a thumbs up. I'm really grateful for your support and understanding. Let's do this. Before I go, just want to just check one or two things, and I might just wrap it up here. So we have to get to know our family members as Africans. We have to get to know each other right now. It's very important that we begin to do that. We have to continue to really make sure that we connect to ourselves as Africans and get to know our own story. Find out what your ancestors, how many days a week your ancestors have. Compare it to to what you have. Is it relevant to you? These are guides that they put forward for us, and we owe it to ourselves to reconnect and establish and to see what works and to see if we can modernize it. That is our role. Um, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to stop here for now. I'm going to come back later on. Hopefully, when it's cooler, maybe the phone won't conk out so much. For now, I'm going to say thank you very much. You've been listening to Season Where the platform where we speak to truth to power. As I said, right now, as Africans, we need to we can build Africa, but it needs Africa to be free. We must ensure that Africa gets the freedom through awareness, collectively working towards the goal of ensuring that we empower our local people in their local languages. These are very, very important things. So for now, I want to just thank you all very much. You've been listening to Season Where the platform where we speak truth to power. I'm not gonna go live on there now because it's just gonna go off. When it's on, it's suddenly the phone just gets very hot. It's cool, and as soon as I go on TikTok, it just goes very hot and bang. So let me let it cool down, properly cool down, and I will come back. Those of you on TikTok, please let me cool down. Let me let it cool down, and I will go on. I'll come back on TikTok later on. For now, I thank you. Watch those of you watching. Let me just check something here before I go. Okay. I just don't know if I start doing it now, it's probably gonna go because I can feel it getting hot already. All right, let me try one more thing just to make sure. No, okay. All right, listen, I'm gonna let it cool down. I'll come back later on. Thank you very much for watching. You've been listening to Season Where the platform where we speak truth to power. I'll get that sorted out and just bear with us. Once again, I apologize for those of you who are on the broadcast when it suddenly had a malfunction. Hopefully, we'll get that stabilized soon. Through your help of following us, subscribing to us on YouTube, subscribe to us um, on subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and then of course on TikTok, and we'll bring it back. And hopefully we'll get updates. From what I understand, it's just going to take some time, but we'll continue. You got the gist of what we talked about. I hope that makes sense. I'll be talking about other things as well when I come back. For now, thank you very much. You've been listening to Season Where the platform where we speak truth power. Thank you very much. I'll be back later on. Please do share. So I'm just trying to check something. 1 second. No? Okay. I'll be back later on. Thank you very much. You've been listening to Season Where the platform where we speak to